This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone, very good morning to all. So in this session, we have to discuss about inheritance. I told you yesterday, inheritance we have to talk about. Let us see how can we work with inheritance. Actually, I missed a small concept, Andy. Generally, we have two types of members, Andy, in a class. Generally, I told you, right? What is a class members? Class members are nothing but properties and methods. We know that this is already we know. Properties and methods we can call as sum. There are two types of class members, Sunday. Static members, okay, static members and non-static members, Sunday. Like this. Static and non-static. As of now, what are all the members we worked in the last examples? All are non-static members. All are non-static members. And these are going to be the static. What is a static member? Nothing, Andy. Static members are declared by using static keyword, right? So static sta members are declared by using static keyword, Andy. So if the members are declared by using static keyword, they are static members. Static keyword are called static members. Simply, we can call this as a static members. What is a non-static member? Simply, if you can see the members, the class members which are declared, right? Class members are declared without static keyword. Without static keyword, and if there is no static keyword, definitely they are going to be non-static members of a class. And simply we can say non-static members of a class. Only thing, while you are declaring a variable or a method, if you can use static keyword, that is a static member. Otherwise, non-static member, right? This is one you should know. So exactly, what is a static? What is a non-static? So how we can declare them? And some people may have doubts, sir. What is the purpose of static and non-static? When can I go for static member? When can I go for non-static member? You can go anytime, Andy. But remember, I want to tell you one major difference between the static and non-static. So we know that non-static members are accessed by creating an object, Andy. As of now, we've seen, right? So I won't write one point. Non-static, static, non-static members are accessed by using using, by using an object only. So without creating object, we cannot access them. This is one difference. How can we access the static members of a class? Static members cannot be accessed by using object only. So if you can create an object like new sample, with that reference, you cannot access the static members, right? Static members, static members are accessed by using its class name and D. What is the name of the class? With the class name, we can access. This is very important. For accessing non-static, we can use object. For accessing non-static, we can use this is and D. Sometimes you may face this in the question in interview. They will ask us the difference. What is a static member? What is a non-static member? How can we access the static members? How can we access the non-static members? I will show you a small example so that you will get a clarity, right? And one more point I want to tell you here, sir, in a class, can we take both? I mean, can I take static and can I take non-static? Yes, Sandy, you can take static and non-static. Both we can take in a class. It's not a problem. But I have one more doubt. Sir, when can I take static members? When can I take non-static members? But yesterday, and the early sessions we seen, we are creating an object. Why we are creating an object? What is the purpose of creating an object? Generally, whatever the members we have in the class, to access them, we are creating an object. By creating an object, class members will get memory allocated. So here one question, and in the static members, can we access the static members by using an object? By using an object? Answer no, Andy. You have to say answer no. It's not possible, right? So we cannot access them. How can we access the static members? By using its class name. What is the name of the class? Sampler. Yes, you have to use a sample. So immediately they will ask the question will be like this, Andy. Can we access static members by using an object? No. Then how can we access the static members? By using its class name. One more question may become here. Sir, at what point of what is the purpose of taking static member? What is the purpose of taking non-static member? When can I take static? When can I take non-static? Nothing. I just want to tell you one thing. And one more point here, remember carefully, static members gets memory allocated because of creating an object, right? Non-static members. Let me write this point also. Non-static members will get memory allocated by creating an object. By creating an object, and this is okay. By creating an object, they will get memory allocated. Then when the static members will get memory allocated, without getting memory allocation, we can't do anything. So remember, at the time of class loading, static members will get memory allocated. Remember, if you can create an object, then only memory will be allocated for non-static members. We don't want to create an object for static members only. They will get memory allocated at the time of class loading, class loading only. When you are executing the class, automatically static members will get memory allocated. Nothing. So I have one doubt here. When can I take static members? Nothing but if we want to execute some logic at the time of class loading, then we can go for static members, MEMBR, static members. Now the same point here I am writing. If we want to execute some logic after creating an object only, after creating an object only, not at the class loading, and the object creation after I want to execute some logic, then we can go for non-static members of a class. And this is simply thing, the purpose of this, and exactly they will ask us the differences. That's why I'm just telling you. Okay, let me do one thing. I'm going to create one class here, create a class. First of all, let me share you these points in the chart window. So I'm sharing you, just keep these points safe, right? Right, so here, let me save the file, and 8 p.m. SCPT, not here. Let me go to your location, Teja, 8 a.m. UI, JavaScript. Let me save the file here, static, non-static. Okay, right. So I'm saving the file in that folder also, right? Anyhow, these points are very, very important. Please make it important. So now we can go for inheritance, right? After discussing this, okay? Okay, first let me do one example for it, right? So static members are declared by using static keyword, right? Now let us go and check this. Now I'm saving the file as a class 4.html, right? Now you can create a class sample, and a class sample is created. You can take any name to the class. I am taking every time sample, sample, sample. You can take any name to the class. Here we seen as of now how we created the method, Sandy. Welcome is a method. In this welcome method, now I want to write something called document.write. In this I written something called with the h1 tag. So I am writing welcome method. Simply I won't write like this. Welcome method, method, welcome method. You can take one more method called test method, Andy, or any method you can take, no problem. So in this also document.write, So just I want to add one message. So welcome method and a test method. This time I'm writing simply this as a test method. Okay now, right? Exactly what we seen. This is how can we access them. As of now these members are non-static only because we didn't use any static keyword. By creating an object, let us create an object const obj equal to, we have new sample and the object is created. Once object created, obj dot welcome, we know the way of calling obj dot so test and this is what we did it, right? So now you can execute it, nothing different, and we can see the output of the program. I'm going to execute it. I'm refreshing the page. You can see the output, and I don't have any error as well here in the console. My console is also very clear. We don't have any error. This is my console. Methods are calling now, so you don't get any error. This is what we seen as of now. So now all of you try to see, I'm using a static keyword, static, static welcome, and this is going to be static, sorry, static, static test only, right? What we did, right? So I just added static members of the class. Earlier there is no static, they're non-static automatically. If you can use static code in front of the method definition, that is going to be a static only. Now if we can refresh, I'm not getting the output only. Obj welcome is not a function. Can you see? We can create object, we don't have any problem. Object creation is valid. We can create an object, but by using that object we cannot access the class members. Understand guys? Here for a class we can create object, but if the class members are static, you cannot use the object. Now I'm trying the same, right? Obj dot welcome, I am trying, but will you get the output? No, I'm not getting the output. I'm getting error in the console. Obj dot welcome is not a function. Then so by creating object there is no useless, I understand that. So you created object, but it is not getting called. But if we can remove static, this is works fine. So remember, a class may contain static member, right? A class may contain static member. Sometimes class may contain non-static members also. Na? In this point of time, you can create an object for accessing non-static. For accessing static, you can create a class. All right. So now you can see exactly. I want to tell you one small point here. I told you, how can we access the static members of a class? If you can see, now I'm going to show you an example. How can we access the static members of a class? By using class name, I told you now. So what is our class name, Andy? Sample. This is my class name dot welcome. This is a way of accessing the class members, Andy. Sample dot tester. Now this is the way of accessing the class static members of a class, Andy. This is object, we know. You have to create object by using object reference, object dot welcome, object dot tester. But in the static case, class name dot method name, class name dot method name. Now you can check this. Earlier we have error in the console. Now I don't have any error. I'm able to access the things like this only. So this is the only thing. Sometimes what will be happen, uh, remember I have a method, and this is a non-static method. Display is a DISP display is a non-static method. Can you please tell me how can I access those static methods into this method? Yesterday we seen display, same we seen. So this is the method we know. Okay, how can we access these methods into my display function? What I want to do, display is a static or non-static, and display is a non-static method. Right now you can see what I will do here. I'm just going here. I'm trying to call display function with the class name. Let us see what is going to be happen. This is going to be display. Display is a non-static method. By using class name, I'm going to call display display, and can you see, if you can refresh the page, you're getting error. Sample display is not a function. So you cannot access the method, and so if you want to access the display, there should be an object, and without creating object you can't do anything. Let us see, my object is created now. Now you can see by using obj I'm going to call the display. Now you can see display method is calling. Remember, Your class may contain static member, your class may contain non-static member also. Sometimes, now you can see the same point. But okay, now one point for me, these are the two members, right? How can I access these members into my display function? Now, I don't want to call those methods only. Sample of welcome, I don't want to call. Sample of test, I don't want to call. I want to call display. If I can call display, I want to get the methods of welcome and test only. People may expect this dot welcome. Everybody will expect the same. I am going to write this dot test only. So will I get output? You feel? This is the context this I am using. Now I am refreshing, I am getting error only. This dot welcome is not a function. So now what is the meaning of it? How can I access these members only? Now these are the static members, right? I am writing sample dot welcome, I am writing sample sample dot test only. Let me check this. Now you are getting. So in that static context, remember carefully, any static method you want to call, you have to use class name. If it is the non-static method, you have to use this keyword only, right? Non-static methods, you have to use this keyword. You cannot use something like this only, right? To access non-static methods, to access non-static methods, we cannot, sorry, we to access the static methods, we cannot use this keyword. We cannot use this keyword, very important Andy. So how can we access Andy? By using class name we can access. To access the static methods within, to access the static members within other members, member other members, we can use class name, right? So I'm writing we cannot use this keyword for accessing those only. So you can remember this point as well. I think this is very clear. To access the non-static members into any other member, we can use this keyword. Can we use class name? No, you cannot use class name. The same point I'm repeating here. So you can come down. So you can check this. To access the non-static members, so within other members, we can use this keyword, this keyword, this keyword. We cannot use class name only. We cannot use class name. Class name is only for static. This keyword is only for non-static only. This by using this keyword, remember, you will never access static members. This is always for non-static members of a class only. Non-static members of a class only. Blindly you can go blind, just that's all, right? So this is how we created an object and we accessing them. Any other vice versa, right? This is exactly the thing only. Static member and non-static member combination. Anything you want to access in some, for example, now I'm writing one more function call. What is this is going to be? I'm writing a function with the data. In this data function, I want to call display function. How can we call the display function D? Now I don't want to call this data, I'm calling. If I can call the data function, I want to get the display function. How can I call this? This is a display is this non-static method. So this dot display I'm using. Now by refreshing the page, you can see still you are getting the output. You don't have any problem here. You are okay. If you are not calling, will you get any output? No. So because this display, why we written display is a method which is non-static. That's why we are using this keyword. Welcome and test are the methods, they are static. That's why we are using class name. Wherever you have static, use class name. Wherever you can see non-static, use this keyword. That's all. This is all about the static and non-static concept, guys. Here these points are very important. They will ask us an interview. Just I'm giving you an idea. Okay, great. Now next concept is actually inheritance, Andy. Right, what is inheritance? Do you know? Yes, now the concept is going to be inheritance. What is inheritance exactly? I mean, I want to say Varasatvam. I don't know what is the meaning exactly. Virasat in Hindi. Varasatvam. I mean, simply say Sunday. My grandfather, I'm telling you one point like this. My grandfather having 5 lakhs rupees money. My father having 10 lakhs rupees money. As a child, me. So what is the amount I can have, Andy? As a child, what is the amount I can see? I can say I have 15 lakhs rupees money, but child is not earning money, but your father, your grandfather having money, and you guys are saying that 15 lakhs. How this is came to you 15 lakhs rupees money? Because the father, grandfather money inherited to father, father money and grandfather money inherited to children's. Inheritance means hierarchy. So programmatically, if you can see what is inheritance exactly. Now you can see inheritance is a process of programmatically. Inheritance is the process of sharing or accessing, whatever it may be, sharing or accessing the base class members, members, members into the subclass. And this is exactly parent class and child class. I written base class. You can write like this also. Sometimes people will go like this. Inheritance is a process of accessing the parent class members. You can write like this. I'm writing base na. You can write parent members into the child class and into the child class. Like this also we can write. So inheritance is the process of sharing or accessing the parent class members into the child class. All right, exactly. This is what exactly we have the concept of thing. Next thing, inheritance is implemented. So inheritance is implemented by using extends keyword, and you have to use the keyword called extends keyword. So how can we access one class members into other class members? By using extend keyword. Inheritance will improve the performance of the application. It can save the time also. Inheritance can improve the performance of the application, and and we can reuse the code. If we can inheritance will improve the performance of the application, and we can reuse the code. This is the main thing, Andy. Reuse the code. So already I have code in the base class. Why should I write in the subclass again the same code? No, I don't want to rewrite the code again. I have code, some code is there in the base class that that code I want to reuse. In this point of time, we can go with inheritance is the best solution. We can reuse the code automatically. We can save the time also. We can save the time also. If code is reusing, your time will be saved, Andy. So we don't want to write multiple number of classes. I have database connection in one file. That file connection I want to reuse in my class as well. So I can simply extend the database connection class with my class. Automatically connection will available to my class. So let me show you some practical scenarios here on the inheritance concept. Exactly, there should be two classes, Andy, to work with inheritance. So because there should be parent and there should be child. I mean, you can take any class. So for example, I will take a class called employee. For example, I have a class, Andy. I'll have to tell you, see, class DB connection. Database, let us assume this is the class with the DB connection. So in this, we define database connection. Let us assume we define the DB connection. So in this, we have connection. This connection, we need a class here, a class called employee. This employee class needs to perform add employee now. So there is a method called add emp. Add emp is a method. Delete emp is a method. Like this, you may have so many number of methods, kada, and so on like this. For all these methods, we need database connection. We need database connection, right? That connection, if you want to access here, remember, this is the connection and this is the thing. You want me to define the connection here, so you want me to define the connection again? Already I written the connection somewhere na. You want me to define the connection here? No, I don't want to define the connection. Already I have connection in the db connection class that I want to access into my employee class. So you can write simply extends db connection and because of this statement, what is the logic you have written in the db connection class? That logic will automatically inherit it to employee class. We don't want to define the logic again here because we are inheriting the father into the child employee. Who is the father here? db connection. And who is the child? Employee. Whatever the logic we written in the, see, only thing, Andy, we written one reusable logic in one class. The same logic is required in some other class also. Then we can simply go with the extends keyword. By extending, we can get the parent class members into the child class only. Let me show you this practically how we can work with it. Let me save this file as well. Inheritance is the file. Okay, now you can go with one example. Already we've seen some examples like this. Now you can see, now script to open, script to close, simply. Now you can see I'm saving the file. Class 5.html is the file name. You can create a class. What is the class we can create? Okay, you can create sample class. No, you can take any class, no worries about it, right? I'm creating one more class only. Class sample, that is right. Class test only. You can take any class names, no problem. Just I'm giving you an idea what exactly inheritance is, how these things are going to be work for you, right? This is an idea only, right? Now you can see class sample and class test we have. Okay, now you can check this exactly how the things are going to be work here. I have one method here. What is the method? Yesterday you taken constructor. You can take anything, Andy, whatever it may be, but we have to discuss all the possible ways here. Class sample. Hmm? In this class sample, what we can do exactly? We can define some methods, Andy. For example, let us do one thing. Let me take the methods as father. I mean, these are going to be father and child. I'm taking like this. Is it okay? Yes, good idea. We can take father and child. We can take any class, right? Father class and child class, I'm taking like this. Okay, father having something called money. Okay, now what father is saying that documented dot write. Try to see father saying I have 10L money. Father having 10L money, Andy. Don't worry, just I'm giving an idea. Father is having vehicles also. VEHICLES, vehicles. Some vehicles also available for the father. Documented dot write. Simply, I'm just giving you an idea. Try to understand this. Para open, para close. I have 2 cars. This is what father saying that. Right? So generally, father class members, father can access. Now you can see, there is no child class here. By creating an object obj, right? By creating an object, we can access father members na? Without to access father properties. Father have any restriction? No, he don't have any restriction there because they are the own properties of the father. Now you can see obj of money, father can access. In the same manner, obj of vehicles, this is already we know, this is a class of father only. Father can access, father doesn't have any restriction here. Now you can see, just I'm going to run the file. Father able to access 10 lakh money, father able to access his 2 cars. Father doesn't have any restriction. Now coming to the picture, let us keep this comment. Father can access father members, we don't have any problem, right? Okay, this is great. Now all of a sudden a child is entering into the picture. Here I'm taking a class called child. You can take any class name, no problem. I'm taking a class with a child. See, by creating child class object, Andy, const obj equal to new child. child class object is created. Now I'm going to access obj.child and sorry, obj.money. So where is money method actually? Money method was in the father class, right? So is there any method money in the child class? We don't have any money method in the child class. Now if I execute, can I get any output? Definitely you can't get anything. Why? Because see, obj.money is not defined inside child class. Where it is defined, it was in father class. But tell me please, you are able to see two classes here. One is father, one is child. Is there any relationship between father and child? There is no relation. By using extends keyword, what I am doing, I am going to establish child father relationship here. Now, what is the meaning of it? Child is extending father means what are all the methods, what are all the properties you have declared in the father class, these automatically inherited to father class only, and we don't want to do anything for it, simply they're all getting inherited, right? Exactly, this is what, right? So what are the members we have in the father? We have two members, right? One is money, one is vehicles. All these two members inherited to father. Now you can see child class is empty actually. We don't have anything in the child class. Now if I can refresh, can you see Andy? Child is able to access the father money. This is the object I created for child class object na. This is a C object, a child object I created. Child object is able to access the father money because of the inheritance. Child can access C obj of vehicles also na. Right, he can access vehicles also. Right, now you can check this. Now I'm going to write 10L money and I have two cars. Who is accessing father properties are accessed by the child? Why? Because there is a relationship between father and child relation. That's the reason he is able to access. Sometimes father don't want to allow to access the money of the father, and father is not allowing you to access the money, but you are accessing money of the father na. So what father needs to do? Father needs to make his method private, and private means no one can access. How can we declare private members in a class? Private members in the sense it is my private property. It is my private property in the sense others can access, others cannot access only. No one can access because only I can access. Why? Because it is my private property. So to declare the private property, and now you can see in front of the method I am using hash. Because of using hash, this method becomes private. So private members can we access outside of a class? It is not possible, Andy. Private members are accessed within the class only. They cannot be accessed in some other class. Now you can check this. I'm refreshing the page. You can see COBJ money is not a function. So he is unable to access. But money is not, he don't know. Right now I'm refreshing. Now you can see he is able to access the cars only. He cannot access money of the father, and money of the father he cannot access. It is impossible. So then how can we access this method? You cannot access this method directly. There is no other way at all. So how can we restrict a method from one class to another class? By using hash symbol. If we can set private by using hash symbol, I think those methods cannot be accessed within the child class only. So if you can remove hash, everything will be accessed by the things only. Now you can see I'm removing hash, all the methods and all the properties are going to be accessed by using the child class only. So this is the way of declaring private members by using hash. If you can keep hash in front of the method or property, that is going to be private to that class only. Remember, private members we cannot access outside only. Even though you can create father object. Now you can see you can create a father object earlier. Father also cannot access outside. He can access inside only. Now you can see I'm removing this only. Father also cannot access the private member only. So father, now you can see father also cannot access money outside of a class. Inside of a class, wherever you want, you can access it. For example, inside this vehicle, now you are unable to access now. You are able to access only money method, sorry, vehicles method. In the vehicles method, you can access internally this dot hash money, we can call like this. Internally, we can access it. Within the class only, we can access. Private members cannot be accessed outside of a class. Now you can check this. I'm calling vehicles. Now you can see vehicles is calling money method. Indirectly we have to call. Directly we cannot call it. So you tried earlier this method directly, you are unable to call it. Now I tried in this way, I'm able to call it. This is the way of accessing one member into another member, we know, right? But these members, private, cannot access outside of the class. They can available within the class only. We know within the class how can we access them. This is not a private method, na? Right? So that in this method we can access the private method and we can do something like this, guys. Right, exactly, right? So this is what exactly we seen here. Now let me go to the same code again, right? My class and something like this, right? Exactly, this is what you guys able to see. So it is a private method. Private method cannot be accessed by the child. Okay, let me remove this private. I think you got some clarity. If you want to see, by extending, what will be happen, all the methods of father will transfer to child only. What are all the methods you have in the father, they will be transferred to child by default. Sometimes father don't want to share each and every method. Father want to share only some methods only to the child. Father is not allowing others to access their private methods. Father want to make some methods private. In this point of time, what father will do, he will make hash in front of the method. Automatically no one can access those methods, simply says. Okay, right. Now let me create one more file. This is going to be class 6.html. In this, what I will do, now you can see all methods are non-static only. So there is no private method here. Sometimes what is, you created child object now, by creating child object you are getting the output, and you can run the file and you can see the output of the program. This is very clear. We have 10L money, I have 2 cars, something is okay, no problem, right? So here what is I observed, guys, try to see. Sometimes what will be happen, child is also earning money now. Now you can see, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm having one method called money. There is a money method in the father, there is a money method in child also. Father is earning money, child is also earning money. So now you can see child is earning 5L money. Then in this point of time, child class object we created, I'm calling the money method. If we can call the money method, which one is going to be called? Child class. See here in the father class we have money method, in the child class also we have money method. Remember, in inheritance, in the both classes there may be a same method, there may be a same method some point of time. So in this point of time, what is the object you created? Child class object you created, right? If you can create child class object, the first it will look into the child class only. See, if money method is not there, remember it is not there. What is the object you created? Child class object we created. So by child class object, I'm calling the money method. First it will went into the child class only. In the child class, it will look for money method. If it is not there, then it will look into father class. And father class money is there, now that is going to be called. This is what we seen right now. Now, fortunately, I'm taking money method in the child class also. Now, what is going to be happen? We created child class object. I'm calling money method. First, it will went to child class. It will look for money method. It found, then it will be executed. Now you can see, you will see 5L money only. You cannot get that money. You will see 5L money only. You cannot get that money. If you want to get that money also here, how can we access the parent money into the child money? So is there any possibility? Okay, so can we use a super keyword super or super dot money na? Super dot money. I'm using something like this as you said. So this is the way. Guys, got the clarity? Sometimes there may be a chance to father and child may have the same story. I mean, they have the same methods. If you want to access father money into the child method, they are having same name. We have to use a keyword called super keyword. Super means it denotes father class. Super dot money. You will get the super class money into the child class money only. This is very important, guys. You should remember what exactly we doing here. Super money. I think you got some clarity. So when we are having same method in the father and children, we can use the super keyword. So I'm calling, if I call money method, I'm getting child class money. But you guys are asking, sir, I want to get the father money also, sir. There is no other way. We have to write super dot money. Super class means father class dot money. You will get the things like this. Right. Okay, one more scenario, guys, here. Sometimes we will talk about constructors. Let us go for it. Now you can check this. Now I'm writing class 7.html. Now you can see this point of time. I'm going to create two classes. Right. This is the classes you are having. Generally, we can have constructor na, CONSTRUCT or constructor. In this constructor, what I can do, now you can see where our connection, something you taken yesterday, right? Connection is equal to null. How can we access this connection in the constructor? Right, we can write this dot connection equal to, I'm writing a message simply called connected. Okay, don't worry, just we return the message. Initially there is no connection. When the constructor will be called, Andy, this constructor will call automatically if you can create object. Okay, what object I will create now? I am going to create the child class object, Andy. Const, now you can see const obj equal to new child, Andy. I am not creating the father class object. I am creating the child class object. But remember, I told you, we are using extends keyword. What are all the members you have defined in the father? They will automatically inherited to child, and if you can create child class object, it will available. The constructor is available in the child class also. Now you can see. Now I'm going to execute this file, class 7, right? I'm executing the class 7. Now you are not getting any output. You may have an error in the console. I don't have any error in the console. Okay, so this is exactly the thing. How can we access? Sometimes remember, here also I have constructor. Try to see, this is very important. Here also you have constructor, and this is child class constructor, that is parent class constructor. Now you can see what is the problem. You may have an error in the console. Must call super constructor in the derived class before accessing this, or returning from the derived constructor. I mean, what they are saying there, when sometimes there may be a chance parent have a constructor, child is also having a constructor. In this point of time, we have to use a super keyword only. Super, you have to call this super constructor, which will become automatically, I don't have any error. So you have the connection, right? Now you can see, I'm writing one function called get data. In this get data function, can we access database connection or not? Definitely you can access, only. Now you can see I'm writing document.write. Now you can see document.write. In this, I'm writing one message, welcome or something like this. In this, can I access this, only? This dot connection, I'm writing this dot connection, only. Welcome to something like this. I'm writing welcome to something like this. Now, if you can call the get data function, now you can see obj dot get data. I'm calling the get data function. You can see everything will be accessed properly. Welcome to connected. Where this is defined? This is defined in the base class constructor that we are able to access in the child class only. For example, I'm removing the constructor. Still, we can able to access this only. We don't have any problem. Still, we don't have any problem. Sometimes there may be a chance base class and the subclass may have constructor, but in this point of time, you have to use super keyword. There is no other way. So this is what exactly we have to do it here, guys. I mean, super. What is the super, and it will call the base class into the subclass. Super means parent class, and it simply says this means current class. Super parent, this current class. So automatically, whatever the properties you declared, whatever variables you declared, they are going to be available in the child class now. So that's the reason we can use this connection. Actually, this means current class now. In the current class, we don't have this keyword anywhere. But if in the inheritance, if the variable connection is not available in the current class, it will look into the parent class automatically. Now you can see this connection. Generally, this keyword is used to access within the class now. But within the class, do you have any connection variable? No. In inheritance, it will look into the father if it is not available in the child class. So this is exactly the concept of inheritance. These concepts are enough only for better understanding of React.js. I'm saying you class, an object, constructor, this keyword, and inheritance. 5 concepts are enough for understanding React.js. Okay, now? Tomorrow we can discuss some other concepts. So meanwhile, if you have any doubt, let me know, please. I think you cannot access with